So now it's time for our big thought for the month. Each month, we like to give you a very important thought, a programming for your brain, if you will, as a photographic business person to help keep you focused on the things that are going to bring you the most success going forward. Dad, what's our big thought for this month?
Well, for this month, I want you to realize a major truth in the world, the universe as a whole. This is a truism, and that is you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find the prince. Now, photographers tend to forget this. This is a really big mistake because nobody taught us this, okay? I mean, yes, you know the story, but the thing here is that you think that every person who contacts you, if you were good enough, if your work was good enough, really, if it was good enough, they would have hired you. Every single person would have hired you if you were good enough. And I used to honestly believe that. And it hurt my self-image. It made me feel terrible. I thought it was all my problem. Well, it was part of my problem, but it was because I hadn't realized you got to kiss a bunch of frogs to find your prince. So just because someone picks up the phone or sends you a text or sends you an email and says, hey, I like what you do, how much do you cost, does not mean they are qualified to become an active client of yours. So you're going to find that once you realize this, that maybe some people who contact you may not be willing for whatever reason. It's not your fault. It's not a problem here, except that they don't value what you and I do enough to go to the next step, whatever that is. Or if you tell them your fees, and there's a very specific way to do that, but let's say you even do it that specific way, the correct way, they may go ballistic or whatever. That's just another frog, okay? Right. You got to keep, I remember Frank Betcher taught me this, you know, and he was in the insurance industry, wrote a terrific book on how I raised myself from failure to success in selling. And great book, highly recommend it. And he said, you got to keep the numbers, keep the numbers, keep the numbers. How many times do you get turned down? How many times do you have to get turned down to find someone who won't turn? It's a numbers game. Yes, you can get the numbers better by improving your sales techniques, but the bottom line is it's a numbers game. Nobody books them all. Don't take it personally and be upset at yourself if someone says, you've got to be kidding me. There's no way I could pay that. You highway robber. I'm not going to pay that kind of. Just
so
move on.
The important thing to keep in mind here, and this will help to ease your mind if any of you are thinking, but, you know, I can't turn people away or that just doesn't. Remember, think of photography just like you would buying a car. Okay, if you were in need of a car, you could go to the used car dealership and tell them you got $5,000 you can spend on a car. Or you could go to the BMW dealership and tell them you got $100,000 you can spend on a car, and everything in between. Both of those versions of you are buying a car, right? But they couldn't be two more different approaches. And it's the same thing with photography. And there are photographers out there for everyone from the used car to the BMW. And you've just got to figure out where you fit in there and realize that you're going to be kissing a lot of frogs, which are the people that will be fine going to get the used car, okay, if you're the BMW. And that's fine. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going after those BMWs. That's what really matters. That's your target market. So I love that point. Kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince or princess for that matter. So there you go.